Welcome back, Libromaniacs. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the show. Today we're going to be talking about the Big Bang Theory and is it dead? Is it past its expiration date? Is it floating upside down in the river? Is it filled with maggots and worms? Yeah, it's dead. It's been dead for a while. Unfortunately, nobody noticed its passing because we don't have a successor to it. We don't really have figuring out how the universe works from the perspective of, this infinitesimally small little particle that we're part of is hard, is unimaginably hard. And there's not a lot of, like when we're looking at the inner workings of the universe, when we're looking around, there's only basic general data we can gather, especially from this perspective. Like we're not able to study it from above, we're studying it from within. So it shouldn't be a surprise that it's hard to figure out how the universe works. The Big Bang Theory is an attempt to explain how the universe works, but it apparently has a fatal flaw. And let me quote the article. In the 1960s, astronomer Halton Arp discovered that galaxies are born and grow into family groups. In some cases, he could trace their genealogy through as many as 4 generations. This is the kind of discovery that every astronomer dreams of making. It promises to improve our understanding of the universe as much as Galileo's discoveries improved our understanding of the solar system. Arp's observations should have been celebrated and promoted. Instead, as with Galileo, his work has been rejected and ridiculed by the astronomical establishment. In his review of Arp's book, Quasars, Redshift, and Controversies, the astronomer Geoffrey Burbridge described what happened to Arp after this discovery. Quote, Arp's ranking in the Association of Astronomy Professionals plunged from within the first 20 to below 200. As he continued to claim that not all galaxy redshifts were due to the expansion of the universe, his ranking dropped further. In the mid-1980s came the final blow. His whole field of research was deemed unacceptable by the Telescope Allocation Committee in Pasadena. Both directors of Mount Wilson and Las Campanas and Palomar observatories endorsed the censure. Since Arp refused to work in a more conventional field, he was given no more telescope time. After a board of appeals all the way to the trustees of the Carnegie Institution, he took early retirement and moved to West Germany. That's pretty wild that this guy has his telescope time taken away for making a profound discovery that is one of those paradigm-shifting discoveries that changes our understanding of everything. Those things should be embraced and welcomed and treated with caution and skepticism, but they shouldn't involve censorship. The idea that his ideas are too dangerous for the mind of the average person and that they should be censored and you shouldn't know about them, that's not how science works. I mean, all Darwinian theory, the heliocentric theory, these were minority theories that eventually became the majority theories. So now we're going to pretend that you no longer can have minority theories. You can't say that, the redshift is actually an intrinsic property of starlight. I'm going to continue reading here. What makes this discovery so important? What was Halton Arp willing to sacrifice a promising career in astronomy in defense of? First, the why. Arp is one of those pioneers whose motivation is discovering how the universe works. He wants to follow the trail of this mystery until it is solved. This is more important to him than his reputation as an astronomer. Is it worth the sacrifice? Arp's wife, who is also an astronomer, put it this way: if you are wrong, it doesn't make any difference. If you are right, it is enormously important. His wife can speak tongue twisters better than I. Second is the what. Arp discovered a major flaw in one of the tools of modern cosmology. This tool, the redshift, is believed to be a Doppler shift, a measure of velocity and nothing else. Arp has proved that a large component of redshift is intrinsic, a property that of the galaxy or quasar itself, not due to velocity. In order to understand why an intrinsic redshift is such a threat to mainstream astronomers, we need to review the currently accepted theories of cosmology. This is an excellent chapter in the book Forbidden Science, From Ancient Technologies to Free Energy. Like any type of alternative science book, you have to absorb what is useful and reject what is not. You have to take this Jeet Kune Do philosophy and apply it to what you are reading, because just, from ancient technologies to free energy, free energy is worked on paper. It's a theory that you can make it work on paper, but can you make it work in real world? So I'm not endorsing, I'm just endorsing an open mind and a healthy, skeptical attitude towards science articles that are against the mainstream flow of things, and that's kind of what you have to do. The scientific community itself, as long as you are working within the currently accepted paradigm, they have this excellent technique of peer review where people critique and improve scientific papers and theories and whatnot. And by going through that filter, you get a much more robust theory at the other end of it. And because alternative science doesn't have an alternative science peer review, these are people that were not working within the paradigm and kind of got exiled. They don't have the benefit of other eyes and other minds working on various problems. So it's easy for alternative scientists to get in details to their theory that are over their head or over their area of expertise. And so you have to kind of be wary of that. And when I critique somebody's theory, I'm more than happy to critique it, but I try to actually see how I can make it work. It's like if I find a problem, I try to find a solution that's in their same general what direction they're trying to go with their theory. So that's the best way to read. I'm not saying that this article is controversial. I don't think it is at all. Halton Arp is, yes, he is controversial, but you'll read the theory and just be like, this makes perfect sense. There's no reason why we shouldn't accept this at least as a minority theory, if not the majority theory. The article doesn't necessarily have a lot of answers, and I like that too. I actually like the fact that he's like, we don't know how the universe begins, we don't know how it ends, and maybe one day we'll have some ideas. That's a bold statement to be that honest, especially since something like the Big Bang Theory, one that comes from a creationist theory of the primeval atom, and it just substitutes the miracle of God with the miracle of quantum mechanics with the Big Bang Theory. So it's not surprising that given the small, there's just a few measurements that we're looking at here. We're looking at redshift and we're looking at the cosmic background radiation. That's what formed the original Big Bang Theory. So it shouldn't be surprising that something formed with so little information should be past its expiration date. We shouldn't, be bothered by that at all. I think what would probably be the best thing to do is, since we're discussing the death of it, discuss some other theories like steady state theory, which was accepted right up until the Big Bang Theory took God out of the equation. As soon as that was done, then the Big Bang Theory took over the steady state theory. So you could teach that theory. And I'm not necessarily super well versed on different cosmological theories, simply because they presume there is a beginning to elucidate. And if you don't necessarily think that, you don't necessarily go looking for that. Regardless, until we have like a body of theories to kind of pick the best of, or synthesize from or with, we just kind of have a few basic theories, and both invoke, like the steady state theory requires like this constant creation of matter, which at one point was just accepted as a law of the universe. And now that the Big Bang Theory is in order, that is no longer the case. But you now have the miracles of singularities exploding into all known existence. And so we've just kind of swapped out miracles here. So anyways, check out the book. It's got a lot of cool different authors writing different subjects on different subjects, and read it with an open mind, but have a healthy dose of skepticism while you go, and you'll pick up a lot of interesting information, and you will learn about how much more complicated everything actually is than what you formerly believed it was. And that is a humbling experience. Enjoy.